And so we're going to start recording. We're not intending to really share this, but if that is the case, maybe we'll ask Creative Mornings to...
Bangkok.
Oh. Bangkok, Canada, Brooklyn, Turkey, Vienna. Oh. Coming from all over the world. So I'm Amanda, and this is
I'm Adam.
Adam, and we're in Spain, in southern Spain.
Yeah, it's hot today.
Yeah, so we've got the wind, the breeze coming in, so if you hear that...
Yeah, as you're typing in there, I invite you just to check in with your body. Maybe put your hands on your knees, hands on your thighs, wherever comfortable. Feel into your spine, into your back, into your chest. Just start moving. Movement is life. Movement is medicine.
And breathe. A reminder for myself. So for me, I can feel my heart race. It's exciting.
Just bring your shoulders back.
People.
Bring your shoulders forward. Those shoulder circles. Make sure you're sitting comfortably before we begin.
I see it's someone's birthday, so happy birthday, Camilla.
Hey.
What a way to celebrate gifting yourself this time to take care of you. So we're going to start in a minute, but for those that are here, make sure that you're in a private, cozy, comfortable space. That you have room to move, because we are going to be standing for just a little bit, for 10 minutes or so. So if you're wearing headphones, is it possible to take them out when we stand, or are they Bluetooth? Also, we have had people in this workshop that were...
Lisbon, just down the road from us. We're in
cool.
southern Spain, in Cadiz.
Nice. We've had people that were... dog walking or driving the car. We actually don't recommend you doing this workshop whilst
walking dogs.
Yes, we're going to be closing our eyes, and we don't want you to be driving with your eyes closed. So please don't. If you really, really want to take part of this workshop, and you are, send us an email, and we can find you. We can send you the replay.
Yeah, this is not a talk, this is not a lecture, there will be no slides. I will try to explain everything in as vivid a visual language as possible. And most of all, it's an experience. It's a gift to yourself to tune in, to give yourself some love, some me time, some you time, and to feel, to open up your body to any possible sensations that might come through. Hopefully you'll all learn a little bit today, take home some new skills. So we're very happy to see you here today.
Very happy. People from all around the world. How incredible. First of all, Creative Mornings, thank you so much. And Alexa for being here as well. She's there holding the space. So if there's any technical difficulties, you can privately message her. You can also message us privately if there are any questions whatsoever. I remember 8 years ago was my first time with Creative Mornings in Amsterdam. So it's been a long journey. I'm so grateful to be here as a facilitator.
That was a different world, right? That was in person.
In person, yes. So it's really exciting to be here as a facilitator. And is it anyone else's first time here for Creative Mornings? I'm sure there's some of you that are like regular followers going on field trips, but is there anyone here new today that is like just joined? Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Okay,
so
first timers.
We're going to be using the chat.
Too.
Yeah. It's his first time, and Chris and Anne, awesome. So we're going to be using the chat. We're also going to be using the reactions at the bottom if you want to raise. But we'll be sharing that as we go into the self-massage part. First of all, we just want to really welcome everyone here for dedicating the time, this hour and a half for yourself. It's so beautiful. I can imagine I have a busy life too. that sometimes it's like difficult to find the time to just sit still and gift yourself that time. So thank you, acknowledging yourself for being here. And so before we share a little bit about us, we'd like to know a little bit more about you. And so in this moment, I'm just going to invite you for a quick little 10 minutes, well, maybe it might be 10 minutes, 10 seconds of closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in through your nose. And just feel into your body right now. Feel into your body and notice, is there any contraction? Is there any stiffness? Anything that you're aware of at this moment? Noticing maybe there is no contraction, but there is a sensation or a nervousness. Maybe you can check in with your energy levels. How are you feeling today?
How are you feeling right now? What are you feeling right now?
And we've got a train coming by. So are you feeling like the train going fast? We'll all just wave to the train and say thank you for waking us up. You may open your eyes.
Wow, it's a freight train. Yeah, we actually live in the middle of rural Spain, far away from the main road, but right next to the train track. So this is our life. This is our reality.
Train massage, yeah. And so, I'd love to know if you can write in the chat when you're feeling this way, if there is any contraction, if there is any tension, if there's any stress or any tightness. What do you do about it?
Yeah, nobody knows your body like you knows your body. And we've all got little tricks and
Stretch it out,
techniques.
take a hot bath, you sleep, stretch.
Yeah, sleep, rest, definitely, relax.
Have a ball, I'm on a ball right now.
You're on a ball.
You worry, yeah. Also, we invite you here really this is a safe space to speak your truth, whatever comes first up in your awareness.
Yeah, yin yoga is great. So just let go. And one of the things you notice in yin yoga or myofascial release is after that moment of tension, of getting into a position, there is maybe 30 seconds afterwards, a moment when you think you're relaxed, and then the body just goes, oof. So that's one of the things we're going to be working at today, how we can get into that state, into that sensation. I'm seeing a lot of you are using tools as well. Massage balls and foam rollers are great. I use them myself. But there's just two tools that we'll be using today. And these are our hands and our minds.
And our breath.
And our breath. 3 tools then.
Yeah. And so, who are we?
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Okay. I'm Adam. I'm from England originally, but I left when I was 23 with a backpack and a guitar to move south to look for the sunshine, for a more relaxed way of life. So I've never had a full-time job in my life. I've had various businesses, but just for the summer season, working in restaurants on the beach, which allowed me a lot of free time to travel the world, to go on workshops and retreats, and have like this parallel life of developing my interest in yoga, in massage, in Thai massage, in osteopathy, until that was just too important for me to do the business anymore. So last year was my year of letting go, of transitioning. I'm sure many of you feel that's a familiar story of like, let's get our priorities right. For me, it was always going to be the case, 2020. I planned it. I didn't plan COVID though. That was unexpected. So instead of doing massage really with people, we've started doing it online, teaching simple self-massage tools, sharing a lot of this techniques which I've been developing, Amanda and I have been developing on ourselves. So we're very pleased to have the opportunity to share with you today some of our skills, insights and techniques.
Yes, with 177 of you. So beautiful to all be connected in this space. Please use the chat. Use the chat to communicate with yourself as well. Of course, if we're in the practice, I invite you to be with yourself. And so my side of the story is I come from a design background, a creative in the field. And about 6 years ago, I was in a job where I could notice that I did not know how to set my boundaries. I had like a fear of rejection. I was pleasing a lot, and it got me really, really angry to a point that I didn't know how to express myself, and it was showing up in many different ways in my body, and I had no idea. Injuries, intolerances, eczema, and I quit radically, bought a one-way ticket to Mexico, and went on my healing journey of figuring out who am I? What do I actually want with my life? Where do I want to go? And on that path in the last 6 years, that's how I kind of rediscovered emotions, the body, the mind, all these amazing tools. And everyone has their own, what I believe is their own truth, their own way of dealing, working through, transforming whatever is present within them. And so what we'd like to share here today, see it as something that could be in your toolbox, but it may not be. So just be curious. We really invite you to come with a beginner's mindset and to, just to explore if this is potentially something that you want to take away for your practical daily life. Adam's going to be sharing a lot about what you could do behind your desk if you are someone that sits down a lot. And I'm going to be doing the standing up. So, I think that is it. So this is a safe space. If you feel like I don't know if I'm getting it. If you're hearing the thought process of I'm not connecting, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Take a deep breath in. Come back into the room, into your space, and ask if that is the case. If it keeps going in your mind, you may raise your hand. You can write us privately. If for any reason you need to leave the room, of course, please do so. You are your own being, full permission to do you. But we just want to make sure and speak that out, that you have got an opportunity here, even though we're with many people. If there is anything, if you feel like nausea, if you feel like, oh, that just isn't sitting right, also connect with us afterwards. We're happy to help on a call. So, ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Normally we work with smaller groups, and it's nice to see people's faces and see everybody on one screen and give people feedback. So I'm afraid there's just too many people today to give individual feedback on what we're seeing. And I promise to keep it as simple as possible, to not to go on long-winded technical explanations like you know that I can. I just want to keep it simple, practical, doable, and just give it your best shot. The first time you do something is always the trickiest time. Alexa, will there be the video replay available for people?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay. So you will have a chance later to get into it, to practice a little bit more. And as people who have done many workshops with us know that the more you do it, the more you can feel, which is what most of this is about, opening up the body and feeling what is present. So the first time you're a little bit in the mind, second time you can be more in the hands, and then third time maybe you can get more into the body and into the sensations. So
Oh, well, I hope the fire doesn't reach you, Claudia.
Claudia. Oh, wow.
So I'm going to invite all of you to stand up. And so for those that didn't catch that, we are going to be standing. So if you're wearing headphones, can you unplug them or can you have them as Bluetooth?
Later we'll get onto the practical self-massage bit, but just to get the blood circulating and to get you into your bodies, Amanda's going to lead a little bit of an introduction.
Yeah. And so these are gentle movement practices. I am highly pregnant, so making sure that anyone can do this. But if there is anything that you feel, sit down, rest, be gentle with yourself. Okay, so we're just going to stand. Literally going to stand. We're going to put your hands by your side. And just notice how your back is. Are you like tilted forward? Can you bring it in? And we're going to take a deep breath in. And you can keep your eyes open or your eyes closed. Just for now. And just standing. And now, I'd invite you from a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being disconnected, not feeling anything, to 10 being highly, perhaps it's sensitive, super connected. You can feel everything in your body move. Where are you right now on that scale? How connected do you feel right now in your body? And just notice what that number is. You can keep that for yourself. You're welcome to share it, but just notice for yourself, how do you notice that this is your number where you're at right now? Okay, beautiful. And now let's shake. And now you can shake however you want to shake it. You can do a shake by releasing your wrists. You can roll your shoulders. You can do a gentle shake as well. Just really little bends in your knees. And breathe. So when we're breathing in through our nose. And as we're breathing through our nose, our belly expands. Now you're not going to be able to see that because my belly is already super extended.
They're not going to get their belly as big as yours either.
No, so no need to be that big. So you just go breathing in as you breathe in and breathing out. Feel what comes naturally for you. If you want to breathe out through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. I love doing a little bit of a shake every morning. Just after coming out of bed, just loosening up, even before bed. Breathing in, breathing out, and then we come to a standstill. And just notice when you stand still, does your body move? Does it sway? Can you notice what's happening in your toes? Can you notice the weight? Is it even? Is it from one side to the other? And maybe this is where you want to close your eyes, but if you feel more comfortable with your eyes open, you do you. And continuing the breath, slowing down the breath. What do you notice in your hands? Is there a change of temperature? Are they facing open to the front? Are they facing to the back? Just becoming super aware of your body. How are your shoulders? Your neck? What about your jaw? Can you relax it even more? And now I'm going to share with you a movement. It's from calligraphy. It's called Reset. And you can gently open your eyes because I'm not sure if any one of you know it. It's like a sun salutation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open up our arms. And we're going to breathe in as if we're scooping the energy, and we don't have to go all the way down. We can even just go gently in your legs, and you're literally just scooping up the energy through your center, and you stop in front of your heart on your chest, and your palms are facing your heart, and then it's like sliding doors. We open them up, really open up the chest, expand the elbows, open up the hands, feel the stretch in your fingertips. Then breathing in, we bring our hands to the sky, and they just gently touch. And we stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to center. Now we go on our tiptoes. If you can, go on your tiptoes. Breathe in and breathe out. Bringing your palms in front of your face. Stops in front of your heart. And then it moves down. And then we start again. We breathe in. And we breathe out, opening up our chest, noticing our back. Are you tilted forward? Bring it in, bring in your tailbone. Expand. Breathe into the sky. Breathe out, stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Until, can be 4 times, can be 6, 8 times, until you feel that, yep, I'm ready. Then you go on your tiptoes. You breathe in and you breathe out. Coming back down. And again, breathing in from the earth, scooping up. Opening up the chest, saying, yes, I'm here, I'm present, I'm alive, my heart is beating. Breathe in, connecting to the sky. Breathe out as you stretch out. Breathe in as you go on your tiptoes. And breathe out, coming down. And now I invite you to close your eyes. You're going to go, oh, but I don't know the movement yet. Don't worry. Follow your own flow, your own rhythm. There's no right or wrong. Notice what the mind does and, oh, I'm not sure. That's okay. Observe the mind, become the observer, giving yourself full permission to move however you want to move. Even if it isn't perfect, even if it isn't exactly what we've just done. Don't worry about the breath. Is it in, is it out? You follow your natural rhythm, and you can do whatever movement your body right now is asking you to do. And if you do have your eyes open, that's okay. Baby steps. Breathing. It's the most important part here, is to breathe and breathe. Breathing in and out. And slowing down. What happens if you really were to slow down your movement even more? Can you feel the temperature rise? Can you feel any tingling? Maybe shakes? Maybe there's a balance or an imbalance. For everyone, this is going to be different. So you notice for yourself. And then slowly, whatever your last movement is, we're going to come back to center. And we're going to leave our hands in front of our heart. prayer pose. If you feel you want to place them flat on your chest or on your belly or by your side, whatever you feel guided to place them. And just pause. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing again your connection of your feet to the ground, knowing that you're always supported by the earth. She's got you. Breathing in as if you are breathing in through the roots of your feet like a tree. Breathing it all in through the bottom of your feet, up through your legs. Breathing in and connecting in with your heart space, or anywhere in your body right now that feels warm, that feels nourished. And then setting an intention for today. Why are you here? What is it you would like to learn, to transform? Just listening. What comes first? What comes forth? Connecting in with your intention. Taking one deep breath in and out. You can relax your hands by your side and just notice that scale from 1 to 10. 1 being least to 10 being max. Has your number changed? This is a tool for you if you want to just notice throughout your day as your barometer to know, oh, let me take a breath. So gently wiggling your fingers, if you want to move a little bit more your body, whatever right now you need to do to come back into the space. Opening your eyes, and you can slowly make your way back to your seat. If you need a drink water, if you need to go pee, listen to your body. So many yawns. Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, we have a whole theory about yawns, don't we?
I yawn a lot, and I might yawn when in the self-massage. It's a, for me, it's a way of releasing. And so notice for you, what does a yawn do? For other people, for those that have asked for the worksheet, there is a little explanation of that as well.
If you'd like to send us an email, we'll send you a worksheet with some more information about fascia and release, and a bit more technical than we want to go into actually today in the workshop. But there's one thing I'd like to share, and that's that many people talk about the mind-body connection, but just like Einstein said that you can't talk about space without talking about time, this is a continuum. I like to talk about the mind-body continuum, that everything you think and feel is played out somewhere inside the body. And today we're buzzing through life at such a speed that we don't give the body time to process everything. So sometimes these things get trapped somewhere in the tissues of our body. Stress, for sure, you may feel like as a physiological sensation, as a tightness of the gut, as a clamminess in the hands, or that could produce headaches later. But then also tension. Where's the tension coming from? I like to ask this question, where is it coming from? And sure, posture, repetitive actions have a lot to do to create tension, but one of the largest sources of tension, I think, is disconnection between mind and body. When we're running at 1,000 miles an hour and we're playing out this mental landscape, we forget to tune into the body, which is why Amanda's barometer, having this in the back of your mind of 1 to 10, how connected do I feel to my body? Knowing that you can always feel more, you can always move up a notch, even if you think you're at 10. I promise you there's a whole other level, a whole other spiral that you can get into. I feel that sometimes, like, yeah, I'm there, and then something will happen, and oh, wow, okay, there's more. So, we also talked about some tools that you can use for massage that are great, but today the main tools that we're going to use are our hands, our minds, and our breath. Combining the three of them, maybe we'll get into an area. So let's just shake out our hands and let's get straight into the nitty-gritty and into the physical, real sensations. Imagine that your hand is alive. It is a being in itself. I'd like you to place your hand, your right hand on the left-hand side of your chest. So that bit is in the middle there. And I'd like you to try to feel your heart beat. Not with your mind, not with the chest, but with your hand. Put your mind in your hand. You may also feel like the pulse that you weren't aware of before, feeling how the blood is moving in and out, giving nutrition and life to your hand. Are there any temperature sensations present? Can you feel the warmth of your chest? Does it feel cold? Whatever you feel, just taking notes.
No right or wrong.
No right or wrong. And now I like you to take a breath out, a full breath out, and on the next deep breath in, hold your breath and see if you can feel any movement in your lungs, in your chest area. And breathe out. Did you notice anything? Let's try that again. We're going to see if you can feel like your lungs are moving, if there's any breath kind of wanting to happen but not happening. When you have a full chest of air, how do your lungs feel? Can you feel an expansion and a contraction? And breathe. Just breathe normal. Shake out your hand a little bit, reset those senses, those sensations. And when we're moving the tissues, the fibers of our body, I want to get a feel for that, right? So take your hands and put your right hand on your belly and your left hand on top. And let's move a little bit to the left.
Oh, the hands.
The hands, not the body. Yeah, moving your hands to the left and moving your hands to the right. Just feel like the stretchiness. Just feel into how the belly feels. How much can you move that belly around?
Okay, so I'm not doing that because what's the pressure here?
So
I'm, by the way, the one that asks the maybe silly questions. There are no silly questions. So
any silly answers.
Anything that comes through that you're like, I'm not really sure, please write in the chat. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Adam's focused on doing this. I'll be focused on the chat.
So shake it out again at the start with a very light touch, with just enough to feel, we're jiggling our belly fat. Basically, yeah, just to feel how it feels to jiggle the belly fat. And then we're going to try and hone in and focus on a smaller sensation. But I just want you to feel like how much you can move, if you want to move, with a light touch. Because like hard hands cannot feel, like a hard heart cannot feel. So the further deep down you go with more pressure, you're going to lose sensation. So a light touch actually feels more in the hands, but also I want you to feel today the reality of this, that a light touch can go the deepest. With a very light touch and a presence in your mind, presence in your heart, you can actually make some big results. If you've got six packs.
I'm almost feeling like it's like a glide, right?
It's a glide.
So it's not like you're actually moving your muscle or like all of your fat. If that happens, it happens. But it's more like you're just going over it, and it's easier with clothes on.
And slow it down, because the faster you go, the less you feel, as well. So let's try and get a light touch. And now we're going to slow it down, and we're going to make a very small movement to the left and a very small movement to the right. But coming over to the left and holding, maybe only 2 millimeters. Right, that's how small the movement can be. And I just want you to feel when you move over to the left 2 millimeters, breathing into it. Just see if you can feel anything happening. Any space opening up. Anything moving around. Okay. Maybe for 3 breaths.
Yeah, I was noticing tension in my shoulders.
Yeah.
So also become aware of, are you using your shoulders to move?
Or are you using your belly? Perhaps you could just move your belly into your hands. Yeah, everything is connected. The belly is connected to the lower back. The hands are connected to the shoulders. So when we slow things down, coming into the middle, loosening up your shoulders, checking your posture, trying to get as straight back as you can, but it's still comfortable, tucking in your chin. And now we're going to move over to the right, just a little bit. I actually felt something emotional just move up me.
Belly stores many emotions.
Belly brain. And actually just by touching your belly, just by coming back to the present moment, it produces a physiological response to calm us down. To, like, if you have a 1 to 10 of the connection to the body, imagine a 1 to 10 about the stress level. I think it will bring it down a couple of notches just by touching your belly. Okay, come back into the center, and this time very slowly, like a few millimeters, we're going to move up in an upward direction. So you can move up with your hands, you can move up with your shoulders, but maybe as with your chest as well, a full body movement. So maybe you can feel an activation in your groin, in your lower belly, responding to this very slow movement, waking up.
Yes, and hands getting warmer, definitely.
Yeah, hands getting warmer, the energy, the mind, the connection, it's all focusing now on the hands.
Beautiful coursing.
And come back into the center, back into neutral. Okay, you've guessed it, we're going down this time. So this time allowing your shoulders to drop, allowing your arms to drop, allowing the gravity to take your hands, surrendering to gravity.
Ooh. So some releases can be sounds.
I think the difference between self-massage and someone else putting their hands on your belly, it depends who's putting their hands on your belly. Because I promise you, you can feel more happening than that person, no matter how well skilled and how well trained they are, you can feel what it's like to be touched and to touch at the same time. If you do it on someone else, you're just going to feel like what your hands are feeling, what it's like to touch. But if you do it on yourself, then you can really get into the slow movements and into the small sensations, and use it as a meditation, use it as a yoga practice, use it while you're at your desk at work, use it to just clear the mind, and then maybe you'll feel more inspired and more productive if you just take 5 minutes out. Yeah, if you've just eaten, then listen to your belly as well, please. If there's any funny sensations, for whatever reason, just take a breather, and we'll move on to the next thing. There's going to be many more practical exercises. Also, pain is a big signal that something is wrong. So I can't see what you're doing, but if anybody feels any pain, pull back. A little bit less pressure, a little bit less movement, and just breathe into it. Okay, nice. Now also, sitting down at a desk, a lot of the time, a lot of us have this kind of shoulders forward kind of posture. It's a big thing. So we're going to release a little bit in our shoulders now with these slow movements. I'd like you to get your hands, shake your left hand out, and put your left hand in. You see, I can move my shoulder like this. There's a groove, there's a valley, there's this gap here between my chest and my shoulder. So get your hand so that the fingertips are just nestling against that groove into this little position here, where we can activate the pectoralis minor. It's a muscle that's in here. So just with a very light touch, but enough to create friction, with your hand on your chest, bring your shoulder back and your arm back. So the shoulder, the arm, they're moving back, and at the same time the hand is acting like a bow and arrow, like you're pulling on a bow and arrow. So we're going to use the strings of our fibers as the string of the bow, and just pull back and take a few breaths, breathing into the shoulder.
Some of the exercises you can do lying down. This one, I believe, and
standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving your arm back, and just try and feel what's happening. Try to feel the connection between your hand that's on your chest, your shoulder, and your hand that's moving behind you. And take a couple of breaths. If you can, at the same time as breathing in, try to feel how the breath moves to the space between your hand and your shoulder. And focus on that area with your mind's eye. Good. Now I'd like you to release your hands and feel how there's an expansion there, and move your arm a little bit further back. Okay, let's try that again. This time I'm going to move our arm a little bit different. So find that same space and bring your arm out to the side. Feel how when you move, you're pulling on the strings, and at the same time as pulling on the strings, your hand is holding back the strings. This is a soft tissue release. This is a form of myofascial release. Many of you won't know what myofascia is. Don't worry about it. Just feel the strings. The strings are moving.
Mm-hmm.
Take a couple more breaths. And release your hand. Did you feel that? And bring your arm back.
I feel more like tension in my upper back.
Yeah, when you start to notice that, this muscle is often at work pulling the shoulders forward. So when we start to release it a little bit, you feel like the tension at at the back that has been pulled and is now a little bit more space. And then when you bring more sensation into an area, you might feel more tension or maybe a little bit of pain that wasn't there before. Maybe it was, but you just didn't notice it. So we're moving through that, peeling back the layers of the onion. Okay. Right, now with the hand we're doing something a little bit different. With this hand, the left hand, on the same arm, the right arm, we're going to move, like putting the hand on the arm and rotating, turning, twisting the arm out, like that. Change position, coming further down, hand on your upper arm, like this.
Moving that hand out.
It's rotating out, external rotation. So we're doing the same in essence, like pulling the fibers, but this time we're doing it like almost like wringing a towel.
And the hand kind of on the arm stays, right? It's literally just
you
the
don't
arm.
take your hands off your arms.
And it's a gentle. Oh my god.
There's only silly answers, no silly questions.
It's just literally the moving of the arm that's going down.
Yeah, the arm that's going down is moving. This hand is providing a point of fixation, and you're like wringing the fibers. So this is a little bit faster. You could do this really slow if you like, but I'm just using it to like release some of the fibers in the arm. And now the opposite direction, your hand into your biceps area and twisting in. Yeah, twisting in. And twisting in and coming down, and coming down, and coming down, and going up, and going up, and going up, and coming up. Nice. And come down one more time, coming down. And shake it out. Shake it all out. How does this arm feel compared to this arm? Okay, something slow now.
Heavier.
Wrap your hand around your wrist. So your thumb is below your palm and the fingers come around here. You're not gonna squeeze, you're just the same. Just gonna provide enough contact to create friction. And yeah, like this, with your hand, fingers straight. And I'm exaggerating the movement. It's going to be a small movement like this, just 1 or 2 centimeters. Just trying to feel like, imagine that there's an area here that's opening up at the same time as you do this like wave, but slow it down. So it's like coming over here and then it's going back to the other side. And try to feel your whole arm, try to feel the forearm, how all of these fibers down here are moving, and at the same time your hand is light, your hand is around your wrist. And try to get a little bit of so, like, I don't know if you've ever met the Queen of England, but she comes out of her passage and she does like this royal wave. So something like this is a royal wave, just a little bit of a circle, a gentle circle. And slow it down. And slow it down. How slow can you go?
And then even if we're here, check in with your posture, check in with your feet. Are your toes tensed? Are they relaxed? Check in with your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Full body awareness, even though we're focusing on one area.
So now the movement is coming like a little bit like a snake moving in the grass. Just opening up that wrist, opening up this big area of tension between the arm and the hand. And when you release the wrist, you can release your whole hand. So hands give us so much, and they're capable of feeling so much, but how much do we give our hands? Nice. If your lower back feels tight, check your posture, keep it moving. Perhaps you're like super concentrated as well, so just try to remember that this is a bit of fun. It's an exercise, and your joints are making some noise. That's okay. My yoga teacher in India said only a dead body makes no noise. So we're going to do something a little bit different now. Hand is like this, the other hand is like this. So the fingers are coming very slowly, making contacts. You see? One hand is coming over the other, so the fingers come over the back of the hand. Very slowly separating the hands. Opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest, but very, very slowly. See how long I'm taking to move. It may not look like I'm moving, but I am. Maybe you can feel there's a groove, and each finger finds its way into a groove. Groovy. My fingertips are coming towards my knuckles. Yeah, you're getting a recording. There'll be an email with a link. Huh?
Yeah, you just have to email us.
Email us, okay. My fingertips are coming towards my knuckles, and they're going to go into the valleys of my knuckles, and here there's a transition. Interlocking your hands. Yeah. Yeah. Should get the blood circulation going. It should bring some sensation back into your hand. Shake it all out. Now, how does that hand feel?
So some of them were saying that it feels heavier.
Yeah.
So that could be.
It could be just like coming back to sensation. When your mind and body are separate, and then you come back, you may have to go through a bit of tension, through a bit of heaviness, but it's okay. You know? Just do it again. Practice a little bit. You feel lighter. Good on you, divinity. Okay. So we're going to do it on the other side now, with a little bit like, interlocking hands. So you're like cradling. And then with this thumb coming up the hand. Very gently, don't need to bake too much pressure, you don't want to hurt your thumbs, but just doing this to open up the palms, to give some circulation to your palms. So, yeah, you're interlocking your hands like this, fingers on the outside. You're not doing like cat's cradles.
Outside.
Like this, yeah.
That's easier.
It's easier.
And then using the left thumb to massage the right.
Yeah, using your left thumb to massage the right palm.
Okay.
In slow extension from the knuckles to the wrist. And then this thumb is going to come into the area that you can see here. So the thumb can fit very nicely into that gap. And if you like just to come around like this, you can put a little bit of weight, not too much, you don't want to hurt your thumbs, but just allow that hand to go a little bit into the groove.
So the right elbow is in the air.
Yeah, the right elbow's in the air, and just like relax the right arm so gravity pulls. You're not like trying to break your thumb or push down on it too much.
And watch, and I'm noticing how I'm sitting, I'm completely going in. Watch your posture.
Watch your posture. Try to, remember that you have a back. Like many people driving around in the car with their masks on, they've forgotten they have a face. So try to remember that you're doing something else, but you still have a body. Okay, and sliding back a little bit. This area here, just very, very slowly. We're back to a couple of millimeters now of sliding the thumb out towards the wrist. This is an area where everything moves through this area. So you're not like trying to put too much pressure on there, just bring sensation into this area here. And if you like, just throughout the day, you could do little gentle circles here. When you're driving, you could put your hand onto, if you drive a manual car, onto the gear stick, or even you could use your knee. Now just put your palm into your knee and move your body forward a little bit. So it's like you're using your arm, you're locking your elbow so the arm is straight, and you're just leaning forward into the hand a little bit, creating a little bit of gentle pressure. Maybe you can feel something in your knee.
And I was just thinking, what's the difference of this and a stretch? It's the beginning of the breath and your presence, your mind's eye. And so it's not just
all of that should
doing
be
that
present in a stretch
and putting,
as well.
Yes, but often you're just like,
That's
Let's
not
go.
stretching.
It's come into the body, breathe in, slow down, and feel. How does it feel to place this on your knee? What do you notice? Like really bringing the awareness to that place.
Yeah, exactly. It's the mind-body continuum. So we are fusing, making an inextricable link, like this oneness between the mind and the body. So yeah, you can relax your hand now and shake it all out.
And what's the best way to work on your posture?
We are going to do a workshop which will bring in a little bit more about desk yoga and posture and the causes of stress and what we can do about it. You get some more information about that in an email about it. But I would say the best way to work your posture when you're sitting all day is to keep moving. Keep calm and keep moving.
So that could even be just gentle.
Yeah.
Like I like the ball because you're moving the hips.
Yeah, if you're sitting all day, forget the chair. Amanda's using a ball here.
Not just for pregnant women.
Not just for Pilates classes.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to remember to move your hips, to move your body. Remember this spine, right? This human spine is the result of 370 million years of evolution. So it's capable of many movements, many more than our ancestors. So if you can bring in all of those movements into the day, even when you're typing, just a little bit of may look a bit silly, but it feels great. Okay, great.
Yes, we're going to go to the other side.
We are going to do the other side.
We're going to leave you on one side like that. No.
With your right hand, shake it out, bring some sensation back into it, and come in to the left chest, finding that groove between the chest and the shoulder, putting your fingertips into that groove without too much pressure, just enough to create friction as you move your shoulder and left arm back. Take a couple of deep breaths. If you can combine the breath and your visualization of this area between your hand and your shoulder, then great. Breathing into this space and breathing out from there. Thinking like a bow and an arrow, how the hand is pulling back on those strings. Bring in a little bit of back movement, if you like, into the thing as well. Everything's connected. And remember, you have a body. So use it. And relax your hand, release your hand, and you can feel how There's an expansion there. Let's try that again. Nestling in, just landing gently on your chest. Finding your place, finding that groove, making some space. This time the hand and the arm are coming like this.
But you're not sitting straight.
I'm not sitting straight because if I do sit straight, my arm is not visible.
Oh, okay.
Take a couple of breaths. So ideally, we want to be staying in any position for 3 breaths, 5 breaths, whatever it takes, whatever feels good. I have an arm. I haven't disconnected my arm. It's back. Okay, release the hand and okay. We're going to do, you remember the arm twisting thing? Like you're getting the water out of a towel. Okay. External rotation.
Not putting any pressure.
You want a little bit of pressure.
A little bit.
I mean, contact, not pressure, yes.
Yeah. And not on the elbow. Here.
Oh, so much happening in the elbow.
Oh, yeah, it's on the elbow then.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's so much we could do on the elbow.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we go all the way down and we come all the way up. And then we come onto the inside and we're internal rotation. Contact with the elbow.
Relax the shoulders. Check in with your feet.
Thank you. Feet flat on the ground. Not crossing the legs. See you, Joyce. Glad you could join us.
Yes. Definitely all these movements. There's so many that we do not expect anyone to remember this. But maybe there's one that you remember and you can just practice one.
And coming up. Okay, now we're going to do this. Like this. Slowly opening up. Finding those grooves. See if you can find with your fingertips the grooves.
So the right hand is on top of the left.
The right hand is on the back of the left hand.
Shoulders.
That's
relax.
great, Andrea. Just the mind, the body, the hands, the feeling reconnects, and then things start to move and open up. Very slow now, very slow, pulling back, opening up the space between the bones that make, in the end, the fingers. My fingertips are getting close to the knuckles now. Laura, check your posture. So, like, opening up as well, opening up from your chest. So the strength is not just coming from your arms, it's coming from your shoulders, it's coming from your back. And then take a breath into the back. And remember the transition here, just as you get to the knuckles, then this hand comes up and it comes through the gap. And from here, very slowly working along the fingers, releasing those fingers, light pressure, light touch, running alongside the nerves, running alongside the blood vessels until you get to the end and and then the other way is like a cradle. And then the thumb, the right thumb now. There you go.
So obviously we're here in the air, rest your shoulders.
Rest your shoulders, yeah. I just want you to see my hands, and there's this mic in the way.
You can
I try to get
rest.
myself in funny ways so that you can see me, but however's comfortable for you. And this is a slow movement. It's creating friction, but it's not like putting great pressure between your thumb and your palm, sliding from each knuckle down towards your wrist. Yeah, nice. And now the thumb is going to come into the middle, into this little groove here. And I like to do it like this, so that I can relax my right arm and let gravity do the work. I don't want to be creating muscle tension or using muscle force. I like to use gravity. What does gravity feel like? Well, relax your arm and then you'll feel it pulling you towards the earth. You could also do it like this if it's more comfortable. You could put your left hand on your thigh and just sink in like this.
Use your body weight.
Use your body weight. Relax your body so that gravity pulls your body towards the earth. Body weight dynamics. Okay, nice. And just little circles now around this area. Just like the same time you might want to open your hand up a little bit. Just feel how everything's connected and everything's moving through here. And now I'd like to make that bracelet with the thumb and the wrist and around here, right? Just gently making a connection, like a loose fitting piece of clothing, making some connection there with your wrist at the same time as moving from side to side. Yeah, Alexa, and if you feel like you want to move your neck, move your neck. Feel free to feel free. And little circles now. And slowing it down. And then slow it down some more. When you think you're going really slow, slow it down some more. The slower you go, the more you feel, the lighter your hands, the deeper you get. Maybe at the same time feel a little bit of gravity. If this right arm is a little bit tense, just allow it to sink towards the ground. And how does that make a difference? Can you feel like you're making some space now between your hand, your wrist, and your arm? The great thing about space is that where there's space, things can move around, and the blood can circulate, and the veins, and can take away the byproducts, the toxins, and the nerves have space to move. Yeah, and then try out this, just waving, just opening up like that, and coming down, explore the movement. I invite you to just jam with it. Okay, nice. You've got an idea of how that works. Shake it all out. Okay. We're going to move in a little bit to the neck. By
7 minutes.
7? Okay, love. She's very Dutch at her timing. Fingertips are coming up to this bone around here, the neck bone or the clavicle, if you want to call it that. And your fingertips are nestling just below this area here. So both hands, palms, coming onto your chest.
Here?
Below.
Here.
Below here. Here. Yeah. There.
So these underneath.
Yeah. Make some nice contact. Bring your shoulders back. Check your posture. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then slowly, very slowly start to look up. Look up with your head, turning your forehead towards the ceiling very, very slowly. And look up with your eyes also.
So eyes are open.
Well, my eyes are open, but if you want to feel more with your eyes closed, go ahead.
And not too far back.
Not too far back. And then release your hands and come back to neutral. How did that feel? Could you feel like this connection between your hands and the back of your neck? Let's try it again.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah, get in there. And then very slowly, like this is the thing about stretches, it takes like 10 seconds. It takes a minimum of 3 breaths for a stretch to work and be effective. And if you go slow, you give the body more time to open up and to feel, and maybe some of those emotions and some of that stress that's locked up inside the body, maybe you give it an opportunity to get processed and to move on. Looking up with your eyes. Maybe this time you want to put a little bit of sideways movement, a little bit to one side, wait for a few seconds, and slowly go over to the other side. And come back to neutral, and release your hands, and come back to level.
Under your chin.
It's there, you know. It's like reconnecting the mind and body, giving yourself a chance to feel how you feel. And jaw. Yeah, all of this, those tissues that come up here, up through the neck, are connected with the jaw, and then, it's all connected. So, good. How was that? Shake your hands, shake them loose, and we're going to come back to the back of your neck, and your fingertips are going to touch. Thank you, Amanda. Fingertips are going to touch. If you like, you can interlock, if you can do that comfortably, but otherwise your fingertips are touching. And leaning back into your hands, opening up your chest, opening up your belly. Maybe you can feel this space being created now at the back of your neck, at the top of your neck, where your head is sitting on your neck. There's an interesting bone called the atlas bone at the top of your spine, at the top of your vertebral column. The last one, or the first one, under the head is called the atlas bone. And you remember in Greek mythology, the Atlas was this character, this god, who stood on top of a mountain and held up the sky. So there's this bone that holds all the weight of your head. And here we're giving it a chance to relax a little bit, leaning back and leaning into our hands. And feeling and releasing and coming forward now and coming straight. And let go. This is something you could do with a towel after you come out of the shower, the back of your head, and hold onto the towel like that and just lean back into the towel. Every time you're using your phone, you're using a computer that's lower than your eyes, or you're using your phone and you're looking down, the weight of your head is multiplied by the dynamic of having to fight against the gravity pull of your head coming down. Your back of the neck is working all that time. So bear that in mind. What do I do, Amanda, to you all the time? Tell you to put your phone up.
It's a bit harder to text.
It's a bit harder to text, or support your hands on the elbows on the table or something. Eye height. Yeah. Computer as well. Rise it up. Put a few books underneath it. Try and keep that dynamic, that line between your eyes and the computer. Speaking of the eyes, going to do one final little bit of self-massage now on the eyes, and to relax those fingers. Yeah, and then like this. So the same, just a light touch. You're not creating pressure, you don't want to poke your eyes out, and you're just going to surrender to gravity. Once you have a nice bit of friction, surrender the weight of your hands and your forearms and your shoulders and your elbows to gravity. And let the gravity pull your hands down towards the earth, and at the same time feel how that is making space with your eyes.
The rest of your face, your cheeks.
And the rest of your face responds.
Your jaw, tongue.
Maybe it's okay if you feel a little bit of rapid eye movement of REM. If you start to get some eye shakes, go with it. This is an enormous emotional release of mental energy. So give yourself the opportunity for your eyes to shake it loose. And coming back up and coming into neutral, and this time coming on the sides and just pulling back a little bit. Maybe it's easier for you like this, like that. Maybe it's easier like this, just to find a way to pull back under the skin of your face, so that you're working now the side of your face and the side of the eyes.
And so for Rini, all I'm doing is putting it on, and I'm letting the hands, the heaviness, the gravity go. So I'm not actually pulling the hand down, it just goes down.
Yeah, and at the same time,
perfect, yeah, wrinkles.
Back. Yes, yeah, who needs Botox? Allow your hands to come back that way, towards your back. So a little bit like pulling those Chinese eyes. Can we say that nowadays? Is that?
I have Chinese eyes.
There's a reason for that. Yeah, it's just feeling how much your eyes are appreciating a release of the tension, and shake it out. You don't want to build up the tension. Okay, and last thing, now these parts are going to go here. And you're going to try and create an upward force. But maybe not so much of an upward force, maybe just let your head go heavy. If your shoulders kind of hurt a little bit or stiff, then maybe you could try like this. Try and find a way that's comfortable for you to do the same on your forehead, and just lift your forehead, get some nice lifting. And breathe, remember to breathe, and breathing into it, leaning back a little bit. Leaning back, at the same time tuck your chin in and push your head forward a little bit. Nice. Yeah? Nice little more time?
No, love.
Okay.
I invite all of you to wherever you are now to just close your eyes, as we're going to close. And you breathe in. And some of you have uncovered some tensions. Some of you have discovered lightness. Whatever is present right now, whatever you're sensing, I invite you to go into that space and breathe into it. Allowing yourself to feel it. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just letting it be. Breathing in and giving it space. thanking yourself for being here today, for exploring your body, for getting in touch with touch. Allow yourself to breathe, to slow down. Yes, remembering your intention for why you came here. And remembering that scale from 1 to 10. Where's that number now? Noticing how you notice. And that this is a reference point for you. That you can come back to this space. You have the power to come back to this space in your own time. Taking a deep breath in and out. Opening up your eyes. And I'd love to hear, how are you right now? Whatever it is you'd like to share, if there's a number, if it's an emotion, if it's a sentence, energized and calm, whatever you'd like to share, or an insight that you had from this session, feeling lighter, relaxed, sinus pressure is gone, amazing, beautiful. So this is a koshi. It's a wind instrument. Better than I started. Beautiful.
Amazing. Makes it worthwhile. I'm glad that we came here today then, if you're feeling that.
Yeah. And if you'd like to bathe more in this, we are happy to send you the replay so you can go over this, or you're welcome to join us for an actual 3-hour workshop.
With breaks.
With breaks, screen breaks. It's a booster. We're going to be sharing lots. There's going to be much more of the sound. I'll be sharing a longer time of meditation, really grounding, aligning to your energies.
Yeah.
So I work with the energy of Mother Earth.
Self-care.
And yeah. So thank you, Alexa. She just shared with us, with you, the details. For anyone that feels like something has really opened today, or something even beforehand, I'm inviting you to a one-on-one clarity session with me to dive even deeper. So we can use somatics, but we also use mindset tools. So I'm opening this up just for you guys. The first 20 that sign up get a chance to do that for the month of August. So all details will be in the email. They're also in the chat. And if anyone has any questions, we're here for another 8 minutes. Feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourself. The space is yours, and we'll happily share more. Or if anyone is feeling like, oh, they're still heavy, then please let us know. Send us a private message, because we want you to come back. Do you have a technique for lower back?
Lower back.
Tight hamstrings. There are many tips. We also have a free newsletter that we are going to be sending little demos. So that's also all in the links. There's already a neck release in there. But lower back,
stuff we did
hamstrings.
At the beginning on the belly is a great way to access the lower back. And if, like what we did here with the neck, if you did something similar here, and then pulling up and leaning back, and feeling into the belly, the visceral area of the belly, pulls on the lower back, also posture, sitting down for many hours on end. We have this core muscle here called the psoas, which lifts up your hips, lifts up your legs, And when you're sitting, that is contracted. When it's contracted, it pulls on your lower back. So walking, taking posture breaks as well regularly can really help to release the lower back. Yeah.
I'll be sharing some more Qigong movements as well in the workshop, so maybe that can also help. You're welcome, Debbie. Tight hamstrings?
Tight hamstrings. Tight hamstrings. Yeah, fascia ball in your bum. Also, it's a little bit of a hard area to work, and a slow stretch can always be good. To come like this, and to stretch out, stretching out the back, and breathing. Remember that the stretch is going to take 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 3, 5 breaths to activate and to make space. When you feel the space opening up, drop your knee. Drop your knee a little bit, and then give it another 5 breaths to activate your legs.
I like to, we've been sharing about the eye and our presence, is to really imagine it flowing. And so I keep reminding you of the feet on the floor, and so grounding. And so if you are doing any stretches at all, if there's any tension when you breathe in, imagine when you breathe out, you're allowing the flow to go back into the earth. And so instead of holding on to the pressure and feeling that tension, you can use visualization, imagination in your mind's eye to see that pressure and that tension, and releasing it by moving it either to the ground, or maybe you're moving it as we're doing the stretches out through your hands. It's like you're using the space. It's not just your body, we're here in this beautiful connection.
What was that?
Yeah. And if anyone has any more questions, feel free.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard the expression that sitting is the new smoking. In terms of like the worst things you could possibly be doing for your health right now. Excess sitting and this kind of stiffness inside the body is something we can all change at any moment of every day. You can move a little bit and just keep moving. And I think those of you who mentioned the lower back, the hamstrings, these are all like things that you can bring movement back into that area. Wherever it is, whatever area of your body you might be feeling tension, just try moving it and try reconnecting your mind and your body and bringing some movement. Movement is tonic, movement is medicine. So how much pressure do you put on your hands when you... enough to pull back the strings, but it's not about pressure. You don't want to be like pushing pressure here. Just enough that when your hands are there, firm yet soft, and just enough to make friction, enough to be present, then things start to move. So if you start putting too much pressure, you're going to have to be using the arm strength from here. So it's not about that. It's about like locking your shoulders and your elbows and letting your hands kind of... Friction is amazing. Friction will just happen by placing your hand on any part of your body. You will get enough grip to create friction. So that's all you need to then activate the strings and to activate the movement and to feel a connection between two parts as you kind of pull back and you create this elasticity, this reciprocal tension between two places in the body. And we're going to dive deeper into that and many other things a week on Saturday.
Yeah.
If you'd like to join us, we'd be happy to share more. And Alexa, are you guys still going to be doing field trips in September and October? Yeah?
We definitely are. Yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to come back if you'll have us.
we would love to have you back. Definitely.
And
Yeah.
then Renato, more tips, yes, on neck exercises. So then we've done this, and then we have a whole month's worth. Generally, we do a month container every week and going through different parts. So to share everything today in one session is also an information overload. So we really want to go little bits by little bits. So
One last question there. Anything for making the area of shoulder joints more flexible? And as I said, about the back and about the belly and about everywhere else, movement is tonic. Movement is medicine. There's this beautiful word called soma. Back in the Greek times, that meant living body. So just remember, you are a living body. And we talk now about somatic movements as very slow, subtle, sensual mobilizations and movements. So wherever feels good, you go with it. And if you discover an area of tension, maybe you want to bring in some compaction. Maybe you just want to like give it a hug, breathe into it, and then open it up again.
I believe it's time. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Stay connected. The recording, please send us an email, because I believe it's not included in the follow-up email unless Alexa and I will chat. And I recognize Alexa as well. Thank you for sharing the comment that was made when we did Chinese eyes. If that was anyone felt offended by that, please recognize that that is not our intention at all. It's to be an open space for everyone to feel welcome. And so much love to all of you. A big hug, giving yourself a hug for being here, for gifting yourself this time. And we hopefully see you again in a couple of weeks. Ciao.
Guys, take care. Look after your bodies.